Hey guys, welcome. Today we have such an amazing guest, Armando and Anita. They're managing partners of a company called Zero Energy Development, and they're building the homes of the future because I just learned this. The homes right now are actually making us sick in a lot of different ways. But first, welcome Armando and Anita. How are you guys doing?
Thank you, Joshua. Honored to be here and to share what we're doing, share our vision, and share the mission that we are on to
That's
change America.
I'm so excited because this is just revolutionary stuff that I'm just learning about. So let's start with the problem. What's wrong with the homes that we're in right now?
There is a huge problem that has not been addressed in America, and is that houses have not changed in 50 years. People are sicker than they ever been, and they don't know why. And one of the primary reasons is where we live. Our houses are just not made up to standard code, and that contributes to our health. We care about business models and maybe financial models, and then building the next track of houses when we're not really focusing on the most important thing, the people living in it, how the communities work, and the health value that's there.
I'm excited to dive into that because that's a serious problem. But before we do, for people who don't know you, can you guys share a little bit about your story?
Well, we are married. We've been together for 32 years and happily married for 29. We've raised four beautiful children, all adults now. One of them is adopted and she just turned 40 a couple weeks ago. So happy birthday to her.
Yes. Two grandkids.
Two grandbabies, a
We're
3 and a 1-year-old. So we're excited, living a new chapter, which is why exactly we're doing what we're doing.
We have a beautiful journey of, we met in South Florida. I came to the US when I was 15. I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. She was born in Chicago. Then we met in South Florida. I was 17 years old when I met her. I was 20 when I married her. So 3 years later, we actually got married. My dad said, "You're making a mistake, son." Then I said, "No, that I have given my heart to God, and we are in another way of looking at life." Since then, our whole life has always been different. Like, we've been a couple that has been an example to people, and we're humbly can say that we've been able to bless and minister to many, many people. So we've gone from all kinds of industries, from ministry to chemical plant to now development and all kinds of real estate ventures. We're excited to be entrepreneurs, and being able to bring this in America to us is like a dream come true. It truly is.
Awesome. I love that you guys are happily married and you shared that you guys are dating again, which is so cool. And love that you guys adopted somebody. I think that's such a huge need. So, but I also know it's a lot of sacrifice. So just commend you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's actually beautiful to explore love. Love is never perfect as we think, it's perfect as it is. In other words, we have to accept, we have to forgive with grace is what actually makes us whole. And compassion is what makes us being able to be inside of God's love. So we understand love has to be whole. And that's how we believe that, and we teach people.
Tell us how this came together and who's on the team.
Great team. I think we believe in what we're doing because of our team. Our team makes the vision happen. And my partner and founder, Bernard Ostra, was dreaming of making the most secured home, having a house that would be making energy for you rather than spending it, and that they had the filtration and they had all these things. And as we're talking and being friends with each other, he said, "I have a dream, and I wish I could do this." I said, "I love to create dreams a reality. I am a visionary as well. And then once I get a hold of something, I never want to let go." And so I was praying and looking for an opportunity for something that was bigger than me, a legacy, something that would change the history of my family. And now when I saw this, I'm like, oh, it's not just my family, it's every family that buys these houses that will be impacted. So from there, he saw the passion that I had, and then we said, let's do it. And from that moment on, 2 years forward, we have a company with the best lawyers, the best engineers, and the best people equipped to make these houses the way they have to be built, and enjoying what everyone in America and around the world should be enjoying in their house.
I love that because Bernard has the experience. I think he has decades of experience, has the vision, and then every visionary needs a good operator like yourself who takes that vision, because a lot of us visionaries, our heads are in the clouds. We have great ideas, but they don't get implemented. And you actually make it happen. And I know you was part of a church plant that grew to 8,000 members. So you have that experience along with your other parts of your background. So, and also what's really cool is you guys, like you said, you're looking for something that can be your legacy, will make a really meaningful impact. And I didn't know this, but our homes are actually making us sick right now. So let's kind of transition into the different features of the home. First, let's talk about the air, because that's very important. So what's the problem with the air in our current homes, and how are your homes helping with that?
Yeah, there's so many toxins around us all the time. There's a reason why your car and the airplane, when you get in there, has a filter in the air. It's brought in a very controlled manner so that you have cleaner, safer air. Our houses adopt that same technology. We make our houses to be sealed in a way that you can control the air and monitor it, and at the same time not let it escape and save a lot of electricity because you're not letting any of your air escape. And
We all like to save money.
yes, that's a big thing right now with everyone suffering from the different things in the economy. Our houses solve more than one problem. And the air, it's what we breathe constantly. And this monitors what the quality of the air is. So you'll be able to constantly know more than just saying, oh, I need to change my filter every 3 months or whatever your routine is in your air conditioner. We would actually let you know, and you would know what the quality of your air is. And this helps your health.
Wow, I love that there's actually a monitor. It's such a smart home, because I read in Jim Quick's book Limitless that 30% of people who have strokes, like the cause is potentially related to air quality. So that just shocked me. You mentioned the savings, which my last month's electricity bill was $620. How much can people potentially save with the zero energy home?
Well, our homes are coming as a standard with solar panels, battery backup. We've talked about the air filtration throughout the whole home. We are also going to have water filtration throughout the whole home. So it's not just the water that you are drinking, it's also the water that you are giving to your pets. You're watering your garden with, you're showering with. Our body, our skin is the biggest organ that we have. So the water, sometimes we don't think about that, but once you're taking a shower, water's hitting you, you are absorbing that. Your body, your skin is absorbing that. So these are the things that we are implementing. And again, electricity bill, like you said, it's super high. We're from South Florida, a hot state. And I remember paying the same thing, $500, $600 in electricity. It was crazy.
I like to touch on that. Our efficiency comes from making all the parts of the puzzle be like congruent with one another. So our windows are high efficiency windows, triple pan. We have doors that are high efficiency, appliances that are high efficiency, all these ratings that save you money at the end. The insulation that we add to these houses, it's extreme so that it can actually cause around 60 to 70% reduction on utility bills.
Wow.
That's big.
And that's really
Huge.
a great savings. And that adds value to our houses,
Exactly.
not just when you're buying it, but also when you're selling it. And people fail to see that there's a huge value in what you're buying. And it's like anything. If you buy a premium model of a vehicle, when you go to sell it, they're going to give you more money because you bought a premium vehicle. And that goes for everything. Our houses, they are in the market, the best houses that you can buy for your health and for your sovereignty, and to be able to get ready for anything that happens in this world. As we know, the world is a beautiful place, but sometimes uncertain on some things. This is actually your castle. You're protected. And we want to make sure that where you live, your family is
I'd
protected.
say it's your fortress.
Yeah.
That's
So
how I
to
see
be
it.
protected and to make sure that you're healthy.
That is awesome. And I didn't even think about that, Anita, that our skin is the biggest organ. So I thought just, hey, as long as my drinking water is good, everything else doesn't matter, but it actually does. So talk to me a little bit about the water. And if you know any examples of what unclean water can do.
We have an ambassador that we are talking to, and he impacted our lives. His name is Owen Boyd, and he is an expert in filtration of water. He unfortunately had to go through an experience in his life where his son was born without his hands because of some minerals in the water that affected the mother when she was pregnant.
Mhm.
So it's not just you. It could be your mom. It could be a mother that's pregnant with a child. And this is very important for us to not just look away and think that it's okay. I am from Puerto Rico. I grew up drinking from a spigot, right? But everything has getting worse and worse when toxins in the air and the way that we treat our water sometimes is not the best. We have to take responsibility of what we do with that water. And so we have filters that clear contaminants, and we want to make sure that we're not just selling, but we're sending a message, because people that represent what we do, we're doing it for a reason. Those are the reasons why we exist. It's not just, oh, let's build a pretty house that has pretty features and great ones. No, we are the value, and we're building for the people. And so the water is essential to our health.
Wow, that's amazing. As a parent myself, imagining, God forbid, if that happened to one of our children and knowing it was because of the water, and more than that, that it was preventable. That would just be the worst thing. But I think on the positive side, I love that the whole house, even what we shower with, what we put in our gardens, is clean and healthy. So I just imagine, like, man, that must feel so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're excited.
And this was something that, and going back to our CEO and founder, Bernard, he comes from a construction background. And this is kind of where the vision was born, where he had this epiphany, per se. And every good idea comes out of a frustration and of wanting to make a change in something or create something better. And he was trying to relocate his family, buying a home for his mom. And he realized that homes were still being built the same way, kind of like what Armando had mentioned, the same inefficient way with, cheaper materials, something not in a better grade. So housing hadn't evolved. We have Tesla now, better vehicles. We've got better phones. Phones have evolved, but the houses have not. And this is why we're doing what we're doing and why we're on board with this company and building something better for the people.
That's a great point. I mean, it's shocking to hear that housing hasn't really changed in 60 years when everything else has changed.
Mm.
Why is that?
It's a financial model, really. It's builders have to build sometimes for a board of investors and people that are expecting more, and the focus has not been where it has to be. And so houses look beautiful, but just because they look good doesn't mean they're healthy. And that's where the consumer, the client, the home buyer doesn't know any better. So we have to do the education of letting people know. It may look, like I said earlier, a banana or a fruit that's organic looks exactly like the other one, except one has toxins in it, right? And so our houses are pretty much the same. They may look alike. However, our houses are built to resilience and health.
Basically, if I hear what you're saying, it's a lot to do with the cost. So talk about the quality of the construction in your home versus a normal home and the difference in cost, because some people might think, hey, all of these things are great, but how much is it going to cost me?
Great question. I think everybody's minds goes there as soon as they hear all these greatness, and they're like, okay, how much is this really going to cost?
That would
me?
be my question.
It's like, how much money do I really have to make to be able to afford this type of home? Honestly, that's part of the vision that I fell in love with Bernard. He's not a greedy person, and he sees the value in what we're doing, so much so that we're finding the way to make them as affordable as you can buy them. And so our vision is to push back our profits so that the product itself can be adopted in the market. Our idea is not to go for profits. If we are building the highest quality house, you would think we should charge the highest. Well, we're not. And the reason for that is because we see a mission with what we're doing. This is bigger than ourselves, and we believe that everybody's entitled to have health and have a house that is worthy. And it's a new standard of living in which we are going. We have a more understanding of what's healthy, what's better for us, and these houses represent that value. Our houses may cost 10% to 20% more for our cost. This is what we're adding on to the houses. The better that we build these neighborhoods, and by the way, we're building these neighborhoods in such a cohesive plan where it includes everything. It includes the community factor, which is what really bonds us together, is the human touch with one another. And so our design is so that the communities are actually all designed together, and now they have the same mindset. You're going to be able to pay a good price for your house, but you're getting all of these values to your house. The people in these communities, they have like-minded thoughts and feelings. What will create It will create a culture of people that have the same value. I'm sorry that I deviated a little bit from the price, but I like to touch on the value per square foot rather than the price per square foot.
Let's talk about that, because that's an interesting concept.
Yes, our developers right now, and the way that the housing market goes, they want to look at, well, how much am I paying for this house, right? It's like the square foot. You give me a price, and people are racing to the bottom. Like, what's the cheapest I can make this for? People say, oh, good, I saved a lot of money. Now you may have made your family sick. You may have made yourself sick in 5 years, 10 years. You may have an irreversible situation. You may put yourself through going and spending more money in doctors and in health, and you're not seeing the correlation that your money is actually filtering because of decisions that you make with your house. So our houses are honestly the most affordable premium house in the market for what you will buy.
Yeah, it doesn't sound bad at all. I mean, for all of that value, technology, health benefits, community, even for it to cost maybe 10 to 20% more versus a normal home, but then you get all the savings and utilities to offset all that. And I think to your point, health is priceless, right?
Mhm.
How are you guys able to achieve that to build such high quality homes, but then not cost like twice as much? Because that's what I would have expected.
So
Mhm.
engineering and creating value. So most people know what a Yeti is. So Yeti, the brand, what they did, they just used more insulation to create more value, right? And so did that require a lot of engineering? Perhaps, right? But it was common sense. If you want to take something and make it better, just make it strong where you need to. What we've done with our houses,
And something that's going to last.
yeah, it's we've strengthened where we need to. In order to save you money, it doesn't have to cost you so much to do it. So we are building the houses very plush, very robust. We are adding more than what they normally would have when it comes to insulation and materials that are non-toxic, that are good for the environment and also for us, and their longevity factor. It's all there.
And we're building at scale. And that's where we get the savings on this end because of the relationships. And again, it's about the team that we have on board. Because we're building at scale, which means we're building not just one at a time. We get the discount of the supplies and the materials up front because of that.
And we're building at a price that is in the range of the medium household, which is anywhere between 460 to 550, the starting, and they're from 3 bedrooms up to 6 bedrooms, 1450 for the square foot of the smallest, 3100 for the largest.
I mean, that's a very affordable home. That's a really good price point, especially for the family, right? The starter homes. The way you guys are able to achieve such a high quality product, yet with such affordable prices, it sounds like it's the relationships that you guys have, you and Bernard being decades in the industry, and the economies of scale. So you mentioned that you guys aren't just looking to build one home. So what is the vision? How many homes are you guys looking to build over what period of time?
Let's say our long-term goal, the 7-year mark, could be anywhere between 4,000 to 7,000 plus homes. That's a vision that will expand our company all around the United States. We would love to go international, but our first raise is a $10 million raise, and then ultimately $100 to $150 million, which allow us to go national and then be able to bring these houses all the way to California where you are. No, we need
That's right.
we need to build
We need to
one
build
for
one
you
for you.
for sure.
One for you and your family.
Yes, that's our deal. Okay. Because my wife would love that. I would love that. I love like technology, thank you guys. And I would love my own zero energy house.
That's right.
This is so amazing so far already. But since you mentioned how much you guys are looking for, there's actually an opportunity for an accredited investor to be owners of the company. So tell us about that.
If there's anybody that has an opportunity to invest in a larger way and wants to have equitable shares or part of the company, that's definitely open in a private conversation. So we welcome anybody
Have
to
a
reach out to us. Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to the house because there's a lot of other cool features we haven't talked about yet. So you mentioned community and gardening, which I think a lot of people out there would be interested in that. So tell me more about that.
Oh my God, so exciting. Our houses focus on more than just the house, it's the community. And so the communities have many aspects to them. The first one I want to say is that we respect the land. The way we build these communities is respecting Mother Nature. And so we want to build them where there is a nice pathway around the nature trail and being able to enjoy your neighborhood, not just a bunch of houses, but actually a nice place to live in. All our neighborhoods, we want to have a agricultural farm or an agricultural space that a community can come and learn about growing their own vegetables and being a part of the community. So now they're not just serving the community by tending the garden, they're actually interacting with one another. Our neighborhoods are cohesive in the planning so that people, as they come in, everything is thought out. and people actually flow and have different aspects of the community as they're a part of it. We have a special inauguration yesterday where one of our properties, it's an existing home and it's in a community that has an agricultural garden right now. Zero Energy Developments, together with SASI, which is Sustainability Ambassadors Collective International, they started the first inaugural called Tree Retreat Garden. And this garden is to serve the community, to teach them how to prepare the soil, how to do irrigation systems, how to plant in the soil, how to harvest. And so we will have workshops here. We'll have our own tutorial for people to learn, and we'll have events. We're thinking of the seasons of the year. People can come here, learn about that. And then whatever we learn here in this pilot program, it's a research and development. We're going to be applying that into the new communities. So we're very excited that our communities bring us together again.
And when we say here, we mean here in Georgia. Our first community is going to be in Ball Ground, Georgia, and it's 72 acres. I'm not sure if we had mentioned that. And for the first section, it's 64 homes that we're...
64 homes, and then potentially it could go up to double depending how things play out. There's additional lands that we want to acquire together. So some of it is up in the air, but at least 64 homes.
I love that because I think number one, it solves the growing problem of isolation and loneliness in our very digitized world. And second is being able to grow your healthy organic produce, which is very expensive. But I think third, you get an opportunity to have interaction with other people.
Yeah.
Most people like myself, I know my neighbors on each side, but beyond that, I really don't have much of a relationship. I think it's really cool that you guys are also teaching people how to garden, because my wife gardens and she's like, it's a lot harder than you think.
I tried gardening in our home. He was a little bit better than I was. I was just better going out there with the kids and picking the crop, or sending the kids out to get me the tomatoes and the basil so I can make the pesto. But yes, I mean, that's exactly what we want to create in these communities, in these neighborhoods that we're building. Is that community. It's that human to human interaction. I remember in Chicago when I was growing up and going outside and playing outside, riding my bike, playing with the neighborhood kids, playing hopscotch on the sidewalk, taking the chalk and riding all over and jumping rope and double dutch. And it was fun times. It's memories that stick deep inside us. And we want that. We want that for our own kids. And that's what we want to create, is that community. It's that tightness. It's that togetherness.
Another cool thing, we're going to be giving away spices and flowers and things that grow from the garden. We live in an area where a lot of cars pass by. This garden will be very visible. And so we're going to be with special lights there so people can either walk at night and pick up herbs for cooking or anything like that. And then the kids can come and get some flowers. We're going to do native landscaping, which is part of what Tres Crow from Green Box Homes, what he is bringing to the table. So we have a collaboration of different people that are passionate advocates for Mother Nature, and that's being implemented into our neighborhood. So again, it's not a house, it's not a square foot, it's value per square foot. You're coming into this community and your neighborhoods, you know them, everybody thinks the same, everybody's healthy. This is the idea of what we're building.
And just to add, when you have healthy people, you have happy people. And when you have happy people, you have healthy people.
100%. I love that. And I think what you're talking about here is just the intangible value of being healthy and also relationships. Because John Piper said that our greatest and true fulfillment is in relationships, not in material possessions. First and foremost, our relationship with God, but also with other people. Because what good is it if you have all this money, but no one to share it with?
Exactly.
So by creating this community, this gardening, and to your point, my kids love gardening with my wife. That's something the kids can do as a family. And imagine just bartering with people, like how trade you some tomatoes for your potatoes.
Exactly.
Just can lead to even other things as those relationships, happy relationships, like you're saying, develop. Whenever there's a need, like, hey, I need some help or I need a tool, people are just more open to asking each other because those relationships are there.
Absolutely.
So again, going back to your point, I think that's part of the intangible value of this community you're creating.
Exactly.
There's this cool thing I want to add. We were at Georgia Tech not too long ago, and we had a conference. It was an agricultural conference with the advent of technology and AI and how that's impacting that industry. We went to this farm, an aquaponics farm, and they actually have a system. And we, in the future, we want to build a shed. And this shed is a send-off shed. It can have its own gardening inside, protected, but also harvesting food that is healthy for you. And we are collaborating with Georgia Tech and Kennesaw State University. They have perfected these systems. And once you create this, they're very predictable. So they're very predictable in the way they act. So you can produce X amount of tomatoes per se, and you know exactly how much it's going to cost you. And they're very efficient when it comes to like cost for the produce.
Man, this is so awesome, but I know we've just barely scratched the surface. So I'm just going to read off kind of a list of all the different features, and you guys can hit on anything you like. Of course, anyone who's interested, look at the link for the website below to get even more details. So we talked about sealed envelope, superior insulation, energy efficient windows and doors, air filtration dehumidifier system, smart thermostat, Energy Star HVAC system, solar panels, shingles, smart home hub, automated LED lighting, Energy Star appliances, rainwater harvesting system, water filtration system, copper piping, and septic systems. So any of those you want to highlight or
So you wake up in the morning, the electricity went out because the storm passed by, but you have electricity. You can have your coffee. You can have your air protected. You can have your families protected in the solid house. What's excellent about our houses is think of it with the power. It's a big, big problem nowadays that you may be out of power, and our houses protect you because all our houses come with solar power and battery backups, and then they're able to be off grid. This allows you flexibility and sovereignty because you don't have to depend on the city or something that's happening on the grid.
for those of us who are believers who believe in the rapture, if some natural disaster happens or Christ comes back and things go really crazy, it's cool to have our own house, that we have our own food, our own electricity, all of that. So we don't have to depend on the government or other things.
Your home will be your protection and your fortress, like I said earlier. So you will have a home that protects your family.
Just like in the Bible days, they would gather at the houses, the homes. So our homes are the houses that people would gather in because we would have power.
And I share that because, on our call with Bernard yesterday, he mentioned that was part of his vision. So let's end by talking about your faith, because I know that's very important to me and for you and Bernard. Tell us about your faith and your passion and kind of your vision for this whole project.
Big question there. Our hearts has always been with people. I think the most important thing is the conviction. It's such a big word, and a conviction is something that burns inside of you. It's like a passion that doesn't let you go. I remember when I gave my heart to the Lord, and my life completely, it was almost like if they took the heart out and say, this one's no good, let's
There's a
put
new one.
this one in. And it was like I was a whole other person, and my life has never been the same. And I'm the type of person that loves to die for somebody else. Like when I learned, like when I gave my life to Jesus, and then I said, oh, you have to be like Jesus, then that's all I wanted to do. And that's all we should want to do. Our vision is really to give more. I know that if we can just not focus on what we want so much and what we can give and what we can create, the world would be a better place. So my guidance in my spirit has always been to give, for God so loved that he gave. And giving, it's an act of abundance, something that can come like waters, living waters, like the Bible says. It's like water brings life and it brings out. We are called to bless others. I always have this in my mind. I think it's important that everyone listening remembers this. We are all going to pass. And there's a saying is, if you have salvation, then you only die once. But if you don't, then you might have another death. We need to be conscious that while we're here, regardless of what your faith or you believe, one thing is for certain, we're here to do good. You turn on the news and people say, oh, the world is horrible. I think that perception of watching that constantly can make you feel like the world is not a good place. I believe in people's hearts. I believe that the best is inside of us. And if we can really be inspired by others and be an example to one another, we all want to come out and be the best person that we can be. And once we do it, somebody else will do it. So it's a domino effect. We want to inspire other people to believe in their biggest dream. We're not supposed to be doing this. We're not the ones that should have been called, but we feel like in the Bible, many people said, why me? Who am I? You got the wrong person.
Yeah. And something we've always said from the beginning is, here I am, Lord. Use me.
Servant,
What can I do?
the servant's heart.
Yeah. What can I do? How can I help? Who can I help? And that's something that we've always done. We continue to do, and we will die doing, because we've been saved by grace. I don't deserve his grace, but I have it.
We were part of the largest Hispanic ministry in South Florida called harvesters of life. It's actually in Spanish, the name is Segadores de Vida, Pastor Rudy Gracia. We spent 20 years there serving until we moved to Georgia. Our daughter that we adopted moved here. And then we were like, well, we were ready to move our family together. And now all our family has followed us here to Georgia. That taught us everything, serving God, not just in church, but in your house. Because serving God is not about a place outside, it's a place inside. We are here to create an environment for people to say, I feel good about what I'm doing. And the visionaries behind my house were people they were believers of a better world, a better house, a better family. And so that's what we represent, a strong family. And I think your testimony too.
And just, I come from a broken home, divorced parents, was missing that love. And when I came to Christ first. I felt that fatherly love. And I was wholeheartedly in. And, we helped this ministry from the time that we started. It was about 20 people there. And by the time we moved here to Georgia, it was at 8,000. When we say we're in, we're all in, just like God was all in, just like Christ was all in. And that's exactly what we're doing with Zero Energy Developments. We said, hey, Bernard, we're all in. So Zero Energy Developments is going to grow and make an impact in the world.
Yeah, it's a ministry. I see our company as a ministry. In the ministry, as an administrative pastor, I created TV studios. We bought buildings. We created different areas for the kids. We created stages. We had to hire and do anything and everything that a large organization would do. And that was all practice. And now I am doing something that I feel, and I have the same love and respect and reverence for what we're doing, because now we're doing it in a different way. And people sometimes get lost in like, oh, if I'm not doing this, I'm not serving. In reality, this is the way you serve. We're making the world a better place.
I love that. I mean, it comes from your experience of God's love and sacrifice for us, and you guys have a heart to pay it forward and help other people. And it looks like God has called you guys to address such a huge need, such a huge problem, that I believe your company was going to impact millions of people and bring them health, bring them community, bring them savings. And it sounds like God even prepared you for that with the church and growing that and all of that experience that you're bringing here. But yeah, I love that. I mean, praise God for all of that. I'm super excited and blessed to be a small part of this. For people who are interested in learning more, maybe partner as an investor, how can people find you?
Well, they can visit the website, zendevhomes.com, or directly to our emails, anita@zeroenergydev.com and armando@zeroenergydev.com. And we'll have that here linked as well.
Absolutely. Put all the information in there. Thank you guys so much for sharing your amazing vision God has given you. For anyone, again, who wants to get in, especially at this level, it's super exciting. We are just here to create a movement, create a revolution in house building. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Join us and reach out. Thank you so much, Joshua.
My pleasure.